Wizards of the West Coast. Tapping out, slinging spells. I hate your deck. Each episode, we highlight a new commander deck that you get to see pop off in a glorious fashion. We show up, sling spells, and have fun. Now meet our players for this episode.
What's up, everyone? It's Lynch from I Hate Your Deck. You guys ready for a more spicy episode, or it could get salty? You never know. Anyways, I just love playing paper magic with my friends.
What's up, guys? I'm Ken. Thank you for having me. I'm ready to sling some spells and kill some people.
Hey guys, it's Gary. We're back after a short break, ready to do it again.
What's up, guys? This is Andrew here, and today we're gonna get odd.
Cowabunga IHYD fans, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles have arrived in Hero Wars. Thanks to an epic collaboration between Paramount Pictures and Nexters, your favorite heroes in a half shell are joining the world of Dominion. And trust me, this is way more than just a character drop. It's an all-out adventure you don't want to miss. Get ready to dive into thrilling battles alongside the Turtles. From December 2nd to December 22nd, Hero Wars is running a special event to download Hero Wars on your mobile for adventure on the go or play it right in your browser on the next tab. So come explore their journey into Dominion. Unlock their secrets and fight alongside these iconic heroes. Don't miss your chance to bring the Turtles inside your squad for free. Yes, you heard that right. Free! The Ninja Turtles can be yours without spending a single penny. Download the game by clicking my link in the description or scan the QR code. But that's not all. Be on the lookout for incredible limited time offers like the exclusive Shredder and Casey Jones skins that'll power up your heroes like never before. With a buttload of bonuses and unique rewards, this is the event you've been waiting for. Act fast, time is running out. Turtles will only be available to obtain in this event. And once you get them on your team, they stay forever. Mark your calendars, rally your friends, and join in with me. You can jump into action however you like. Click on my link in the description or scan the QR code to download Hero Wars on your mobile for adventure on the go or play it right in the browser on the next tab. This is one adventure you don't want to miss. I'll see you in Hero Wars with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Let's make it legendary. Download the game by clicking in my link in the description or scan the QR code to get your free turtle from December 2nd to December 22nd. I'm gonna play Corum the Undertaker. We'll see if he can live up to the name of the Undertaker, because a lot of people love that wrestler. Corum the Undertaker gets +X/+O, where X is the greatest power among creature cards in all graveyards. Whenever he attacks, each player mills a card. Wish it was more. During each of your turns, you may play a land and cast a spell from among cards in graveyards that were put there from the libraries this turn. I haven't built too many Junda decks, and I like mill. This will be my second time ever playing this deck. I did, for today, put in Mesmeric Orb. So hopefully I'm gonna get some of my big creatures in the graveyard to make him big. So hopefully I can do some big old commander damage. But it is looking to still do what I like to do, which is I love to tap creatures sideways to swing. And I also enjoy milling.
I'm playing the OGest of OGs, Omnath, the Locus of Mana. It's 2 colorless and 1 green. He's a legendary creature elemental. Green mana doesn't empty from your mana pool as steps and phases end. Omnath, Locus of Mana, gets +1/+1 for each green mana in your mana pool. You know, there's been many Omnaths since then, but he's the first one. Yeah, he's like a little pet deck I've had for a while. You know, he still does his thing. He's a little mana bank, how I see it. Doesn't really go wide and like, you know, do big old stompy things, but it can. It's kind of like all over the place, you know. It can maybe even do some milling, you know. We'll see what happens.
Today I'm running Meria, Scholar of Antiquity. It's a Gruul commander that cares about artifacts. I thought that was really cool. I was inspired by Ken's Urza deck that I've seen him make 1,000,000 artifacts and big mana. So I thought I'd try to copy it, but in a different color scheme. She has 2 abilities. The first one is you can tap an untapped non-token artifact you control to add a green mana. And the second ability is tap 2 untapped non-token artifacts you control, exile the top card of your library. You may play it this turn. Howling Mine that I can then tap on my turn.
So we don't
to
draw.
turn you guys off of it, so I draw and you guys don't.
Oh, I thought you were gonna let us draw.
Sometime. Miri's a 3/3. She's an elf artificer, so I'm trying to make big mana with my artifacts and cast some big X spells.
All right, so we have Yennett, Cryptic Sovereign. This card has a lot of words on it. It's Esper, black, blue, white, and 2 mana, so it's a 5 mana Sphinx. It has Flying, Vigilance, and Menace. It's a 3/5. Whenever it attacks, I reveal the top card of my library. If its converted mana cost is odd, I may cast it without paying its mana cost. Otherwise, draw a card. Yeah, we're gonna try and manipulate top card of the library.
Odd?
Yeah, Yennett.
You're gonna get real odd?
You're gonna get odd.
No longer Froggy. We're getting oddly Froggy. Oddly Froggy with Drew.
Oh, man.
You go like all odd.
It's almost all odd. Everything big is gonna be odd.
Hey guys, if you want to support our channel, please join our Patreon. It's an excellent way to keep our show going so we can keep bringing you episodes every other Friday. It's another chance you get to play in the Discord with me. It's where I test out a lot of my decks, and we get to hang out and chat. So if you want to support the show, join our Patreon. It really helps us out.
I hate your deck.
All right, let's roll to see who goes first.
Good luck, gentlemen.
Good luck.
Good game, good luck. 6.
Lynch with the 6.
6.
You got a
Right.
Yep.
Finally, I get to go first. All right, let's draw 7.
All right.
All right.
Take it away. Draw for turn. Changes my plan.
Soul Ring off the top.
No, not a soul ring, but I will play a nice, this is actually, look at this, nice foily forest. I will tap this forest because I am now tempted to play my ignoble hierarch. He now taps for all my colors, which is pretty relevant.
Nice triumph, dude.
He's helping me out a lot, and I'll pass turn.
Draw for turn. Oh, interesting. I think that changes my game plan as well. So we'll do Swamp and tap for Wayfarer's Bauble. Pass.
Swamp and Bauble. Okay, I'll go ahead and draw for the turn. Play Ancient Tomb as my land.
Well,
Risk reward. So I'm going to go ahead and tap Ancient Tomb.
You'll take 2
2
life?
damage, get 2 mana,
Yeah, don't
and
forget
cast
that.
Mirror Retriever. It's a 1/1 artifact. It's a mirror. When a Mirror Retriever is put into a graveyard from play, return another target artifact from your graveyard to your hand. And I'll pass the turn to Ken.
Gary is the threat, guys.
yeah, got a
Gary's the
mirror.
threat.
Get him.
How about Meria?
Kill it.
All right, so I'm gonna keep it chill, play a forest, no other spells, and pass the turn.
All right, untap, upkeep, draw. I'm gonna play a Misty Rainforest, tap a crack, attack it, lose a life. There's a Taiga. So a Taiga will come into play, but let me just shuffle. Taiga, uppercut.
Taiga, uppercut.
Dude, Street Fighters. Taiga.
Sorry, thinking about rap songs.
The rapper Taiga?
Yeah.
So I'll tap 2, double green, Sakura Tribe Elder. Sakura Tribe, you can sack him, search the library for a basic land card, put that in the battlefield, tap and shuffle. And I did forget to read that Ennoble Hierarch has exalted. Yeah, I'm holding Lightning Bolt and pass turn.
All right, untap, draw. Going to play an island and just pass the turn.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and untap my Ancient Tomb, draw for the turn, figure something out here. I think Mountain. Do I really want to do this Ancient Tomb shocking again? I don't know.
Do it to yourself, man.
I mean, let's be honest, I probably really do. I'm gonna go ahead and tap the Ancient Tomb
36.
and cast another artifact. It's Crawl Space.
Oh,
no
shit.
more than 2 creatures can attack you each combat. I believe that only applies to me because it says specifically you. No more than 2 creatures can attack me each combat. So my Planeswalkers are still fair game, and I will pass the turn to Ken.
Untap, upkeep, draw. Let's play Castle Garenbridge. Enters the battlefield tapped unless I control the forest, which I do. I will tap 2, and I will play Emerald Medallion. It's an artifact for 2 colorless, and green spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. And I will pass the turn.
At the end of your turn, on your end step, I will sack Steve. I will get a swamp. There we are.
The mid deck has to have the blingy mana base.
Yeah,
I get that.
the blinging basics.
Yeah, the bling and
I don't know if
basics.
anything else is blinging. The swamp comes in tapped, you pass, so now I untap for turn and draw a card. I'm going to then play the Underground Mortuary tapped, so that means I surveil 1. Yeah, keep that there. I'll tap 4 for all my colors, and let's bring out the commander. This is why we're here. So Coram the Undertaker is out. Whenever he attacks, each player mills, but he doesn't have haste, so that won't happen, and he gets +X. So right now, I think the only creature is here, so he's got a +1.
Steve.
So he's a 1/5 because Steve is in the graveyard.
I'll
and then
respond
Yeah.
and crack my Wayfarer's Bauble to get a
Okay.
planes.
once you finish shuffling, though, I pass the turn to you, Drewy Booey. I don't know why I called you Drewy Booey.
There you go.
I just went for it.
That's what my mom used to call me.
Drewy Booey?
No, I'm just kidding.
What if she did?
That'd be something else. Untap, draw for turn. I'll play a Path of Ancestry, which comes into play tapped. I'll play an Azorius Signet, and I'll pass.
I'll go ahead and untap. You got a Signet, he's got a Medallion. I'll go ahead and untap and draw for the turn.
He's got an Iggy.
Yes, he does. I'm gonna play a Forest as my land for the turn. Go ahead and tap Ancient Tomb yet again. Fall to 34. Tap Mountain and a Forest as well, so that's 4 mana. I'm gonna cast my 3-mana Commander, allowing 1 colorless mana to be floating here off of my Ancient Tomb. I assume resolves. No.
Yeah, I got no response.
Mana.
I've got nothing. King, nothing.
Where's your crown, King? Nothing. Spellbook costs nothing.
Yes, it does.
So I'll play the Spellbook. and
Way to
then,
slide that in there.
Yeah. Tap Spellbook and Crawl Space. I'll activate Meria, Scholar of Antiquity, exiling the top card of my library. It is Goblin Engineer. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to pull that off. I was just going to see if I could maybe get lucky and get jiggy with it. I'm going to use this floating mana that I have from Ancient Tomb and cast Haywire Might. It's a 1/1 artifact creature, insect. When Haywire Might dies, I gain 2 life. I can spend a green and sack the Might, exile target non-creature artifact or non-creature enchantment. I'm going to announce combat. I'm going to swing with Mere Retriever on Andrew. Take a look to the sky just before you die. Big Wampin.
Big one.
Big one.
It's the last time you will.
I think I'll just take the 1.
Okay.
I'll take my lumps.
I'll pass the turn to Ken.
Untap, draw. Let's play this forest. Tap this forest and Castle Garenbridge, and 1 reduction. I'm gonna cast Omnath, Locus of Mana. 2 colorless green guy, he's a elemental, and green mana doesn't empty from your mana pool as steps and phases end. Omnath Locus Mana gets +1/+1 for each green mana in your mana pool. I'm gonna use the remaining green I have here, also with 1 reduction, and I will give Canopy Cover to Omnath. It's an enchantment aura for 1 colorless and a green. Enchant creature. Enchanted creature can't be blocked except by creatures with flying or reach. And enchanted creature can't be the target of spells or abilities your opponents control. And that concludes my turn.
There he is.
Untap. Draw for turn. I knew what that was because I surveilled. I think I'm actually going to play an Urborg. Now we all have swamp.
All right.
I'm Oprah. You have a swamp. You have a swamp. We all have swamps.
I like swamps.
Let's hope I get a Cabal Coffers. I'm going to tap 4. Cast Chainer, Nightmare Adept. Human minion, 3/2, legendary. Discard a card. You may cast a creature spell from your graveyard this turn. Activate only once each turn. Whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, if you didn't cast it from your hand, it gains haste until your next turn.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
With that, I will go to combat. Part of me thinks this is just funny, that I can do something pretty dumb right now.
Do it.
Will it get you a win?
All right, so currently he's a 1. This is an instant ability to discard.
He's already Gruul Urza doing things, you know what I mean?
I am.
I'll swing at you with my Corum.
You swinging a Garaputo?
Yep. On attack trigger, we all mill 1.
Oh, you just made a mistake.
Pithing Needle.
Lightning Greaves.
Vona.
Greater Hoof. No one likes that guy anyways.
Oh yeah, get rid of him.
Whoa,
Look, you got
whoa. I could cast him this turn if I had the mana. Blocks.
Set up a chump block with Haywire Might.
Before damage resolves, I will respond. I will use his ability, Chainer Nightmare Adept. I'm going to put Malignus in the graveyard. Malignus's power and toughness are equal to half the highest life total among your opponents rounded up. Damage that would be dealt by Malignus can't be prevented. This will now change my guy's power. The highest life total is 40. He's a 20 with a 5 butt.
Oh boy.
25 butt.
He's 20
Yeah.
with a 5 butt. And then because the Exalted trigger, he'll be 21. So I have a 21-5.
So I'm lucky I chump blocked.
You're lucky you jump blocked, otherwise you'd be dead.
Oh, you didn't go for Andrew.
I
you
have
know?
a
Wide open.
response as well. I mean, I don't know if
I didn't go for Andrew because I was worried about. I was like, man, I still believe Magic and Commander is about fun with friends, and killing a friend and making him sit on the show would be hella lame. So that's why I didn't just one-shot Andrew this early.
I respect
So now we
that.
go to second main. This dies.
No, I have a response before
Oh,
combat.
sorry. Go ahead. Before combat, you mean we're
Or before damage. I'm gonna tap Haywire Might for green and then sack it. And I'm gonna exile
It needs to be an artifact or enchantment. There's only 2.
Canopy
Go for
Cover.
Andrews, dude. What? All right, Gary, you're on my hit list, dude.
It's arguably the best thing on the board.
Nope, it's not.
What is?
The medallion.
It has to be
I
an
have no-
artifact or an
artifact or
enchantment. It's
Oh,
either,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
either his
yeah.
signet or the thing that lets us not be able to target his gigantic commander.
It's a 1/1.
Well, now.
I will then read his second ability because now it matters. During each of your turns, you may play land or cast a spell from among cards and graveyards that were put there from libraries this turn. So I'm going to go ahead and tap 2, and I'm going to cast your Greaves.
Oh yeah.
Lightning Greaves.
My beautiful boots.
Your boots will come into play on my side. It wasn't a creature, so it won't trigger my Chainer, but I will now move to equip the Greaves onto my Undertaker.
Nice.
He's wearing my pants.
So far, he's living up to his name of being an Undertaker. He's doing his thing.
Got
This
it.
is the best this deck's ever done. I'll take it. I will then pass the turn.
Tap, draw. Well, yeah, now it's time to do the thing. I'll cast Yennett, Cryptic
5?
Sovereign for 5. And he shares a creature type with my commander, so I will scry 1. Yeah, and I'll keep that on top. and then I'll play Rivendell, which comes into play untapped because I control a legendary creature. Makes a blue, or for 2 and tap, I can scry 2, activate only if I control a legendary creature. And I'll pass the turn.
I'll go ahead and untap. Lynch stole my pants.
I like your pants.
I wish I had them. Draw for the
They're
turn.
not pants, they're boots. Botas.
I mean, they go up real high.
They're knee highs, you know, so he doesn't wear pants.
Yo tengo tus botas.
I'm going to go ahead and tap Spellbook and Crawl Space, activate Meria, Scholar of Antiquity, and exile the top card of my library. It's Tormod's Crypt. Nice. I'm going to play Tormod's Crypt as, you know, I'm allowed to do. Oh, I know about
Yeah,
that.
it's spicy versus your guy.
Yeah.
That's going to be good against the Undertaker.
Awful. You just happened to go right into Tormod's Crypt after I swung a 21-5 on you. Jesus.
Forest as my land for the turn, and it seems like I need to start leaving some mana up, especially when he's like doing some big stealing and undertaking. So I'm gonna pass to Ken with my mana up.
It's a lot of mana, dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just gonna have to force you to do it and swing at you again.
On tap. I mean, he's a threat.
He is a threat. He's got the healthiest word save
this.
besides myself.
I could do more. You know, I could tap these 2 guys and exile again and try to play some more, play even a land off the top, but then I leave myself tapped out and you swing big, I die.
Can play this forest. It's my land for turn.
Yeah,
Gary's
yeah.
got some stuff, man.
Yeah, dude, we want to see your responses.
Yeah, let's see these responses.
I know who I'm going to attack.
Tapping 3, 1 reduction from the Emerald Medallion. Gonna play a Bear Umbra. It's a 2 colorless, 2 green, enchantment aura, enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2 and has whenever this creature attacks, untap all lands you control. Plus totem armor. If enchanted creature will be destroyed, instead remove all damage from it and destroy this aura. So I'm gonna move to do it. Well, I'm gonna choose this guy, Omnath, enchanted creature, and he responds, and he responds, and he responds.
No response.
I think Gary might have it.
I mean, I have responses, but now is not the time.
Heard that. Float. Well, I'm gonna tap this Castle Garenbridge. Float 1 green. So this is not a counter, but it's my floating mana. So we'll just go with that. He's currently a 2/2 plus 2/2. So he's 4. Go to combat.
I pass priority.
I'm good.
This is going to allow him to untap all of his lands and
yeah.
make this guy big.
Yeah, you
Oh,
should kill
yeah.
it with fire.
Yeah, forget that. I'm going to go ahead and tap a forest. Yeah, I'll tap. I was just debating whether or not I wanted to take some more Ancient Tomb damage, which I do not want to do. So I'm going to tap 3 mana, and I'm going to cast Beast Within, and I'm going to destroy this stupid thing.
Okay. No response. That's good. So this goes away.
You'll go ahead and get a 3/3 green beast token.
I have a germ.
No swings. So second main phase, I'll use the
floater.
1 floating, correct?
rough.
And Commander's Plate. You know, just keep taking them all down, Gary.
Oh, wow.
What about this?
I'll
How
pass.
am I supposed
I'll
to?
pass the turn.
I should have killed that.
Untap.
You didn't.
It's okay, Gary. We got beef. I'm coming for you the whole game.
Upkeep, draw. I will go ahead and play another foil forest. I'm going to tap 4. I'm going to cast Greater Good enchantment, sacrifice a creature, draw cards equal to the sacrificed creature's power, then discard 3 cards.
He's going to draw 20 cards right now.
Well, I mean, if you do anything to remove my graveyard, I will definitely do that in response.
Maybe I should respond to that on cast.
Okay.
That sounds like a great idea.
Greater Good on this deck.
I'm definitely going to respond. I'm going to go ahead and crypt your graveyard, sacrifice the crypt, remove all cards in target player's yard.
All right.
It really sets me back too because I need artifacts in order to do my thing.
All right, so my whole graveyard is exiled. That was the thing.
That's the big one.
I did the thing.
His bigness, malignus.
Oh, graveyard. No, oh.
Yeah, I got a 4/4.
No, he's got a 5/5.
Craterhoof.
He's a 5/5.
5/5.
I'm gonna go to combat. I'm gonna swing Undertaker at you, Drew. I'm coming for you this
How did I know that was coming?
I gave you the 1 turn
I know.
mercy,
I know.
but he's been dismantled a bit. I feel bad, even though this
That's
is gonna
okay.
be a problem for all of us, though.
I took
this
my
is gonna be
lump
very bad.
from Gary.
Plus
I mean,
3.
Gary's
take
been
my lump
dominating
from
this
you.
the whole time. He has mana from his other guys
I know,
besides
but
regular
if I
land.
do this, he can exile.
Oh no, I totally agree. That was a good.
I
play.
don't want to give him his stuff back.
This guy has creatures that give him mana and artifacts for free that give him mana.
Yeah, no.
I understand the threat assessment,
Okay.
but
So blockers.
I'm not gonna block.
Okay, so no blocks declared.
No blocks. Do your worst.
He has an exalted, so he's currently a 6/5. I will pay a black and I will entomb. I'll search my library for a card, put the card in the graveyard, and then shuffle.
So we're gonna see the second biggest thing.
The second biggest thing.
Yardle and Montani's 9, isn't it? Or 7 power?
Well, I don't know. There's the Titanith Rex that I might get, which is an 11/11.
That's big.
And then I do have the Yargle, which I got to double check. Oh, he's just 18/6.
What?
Power, right?
18?
Yeah, he's an 18.
Holy shit.
No. You should get the Titanith. I like that a lot
What
better.
does it say? Oh, what does it say?
You got any more of those Tormod's crypts over there?
Maybe if you help me kill this.
I'm putting Yargle Multani in, which is an 18. That's now bigger than Craterhoof. So now he'll be an 18 plus 1, so I'm doing 19 damage.
I'm not gonna block with Yennett. I'll take it.
So before you take 19 damage, on the attack trigger, milled. So let's just mill on the attack trigger.
We all mill.
Forest.
Damn, Underworld Breach.
Survival of the fittest.
I'm glad, dude. We should all be happy that is there. That is a pretty big difference. All right, so now you take 19.
Yeah,
So you
I
go to
milled
20.
Archon of Justice. Big old deeps.
So you go to 19.
Yeah, I'm at 20 now. That hurt. Survival seems pretty good in your deck.
Let's absolutely do that. So I'll pay 2.
Nice work, Gary. You just made his deck better. You got my attention.
So I'll move the Greaves over to Chainer. I will then move to sack Corum to Greater Goods. It's exalted till end of turn.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll be 19 cards.
Yeah, the 18 plus 1.
It'll get sacked, and then I'll draw 19 cards. All right, 19 cards. Draw 19 cards. Woohoo!
Achievement unlocked.
You need to get over it and start focusing on the real problem in the neighborhood. Lynch.
I'd rather have friends than enemies.
You're not gonna include me. I just took the lump.
You're almost dead.
Yeah.
You're dead.
Right, man.
That guy.
You see what he did to Andrew?
Yeah, man, we gotta stick together.
Oh, God.
Got a point blank.
Yeah. Oh, boy. We should team up.
I'm just having to figure out what I'm keeping in.
Yeah, take your time.
So we go to resolve the. So I drew the 19 cards for Greater Good. Then I discard 3 cards. Azusa Lost Seeking. I'll discard Aftermath Analyst, Skull Prophet. Then I will go to my end step cleanup. I will then keep these 7. Discard those 10. So I've discarded 13 total, which makes sense because then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 because I had 1 card in hand. Pass turn to you.
Alrighty. Untap. Draw a card. I'll play Temple of Silence. Scry 1.
To the bottom.
Bottom. I buy it. I'll tap
I'd
Rivendell.
buy that for $1.
Yeah.
Commanders are usually good.
I'll tap Rivendell and scry 2. I scried, so 1 top, 1 bottom. Yeah, seems pretty good to me. So I'll go to combat.
Yep.
I'll attack Lynch for 3 in the air, and when he attacks, I reveal the top card. Prognostic Sphinx. This has an odd mana cost, so I cast it without paying its mana cost. So he's a 3/5 flying, discard a card. It gains hexproof until end of turn and tap it. And whenever it attacks, I scry 3.
I take 3.
Yep, Commander. I like that. And then I'll pass the turn with 3 mana up.
Okay, I'll go ahead and untap for my turn. I'll draw for the turn. I'll tap Ancient Tomb and my lands. Lose 2 from the tomb, right?
Yeah, don't forget that.
For 5 mana, I'll cast Forsaken Monument. Colorless creatures you control get +2/+2. My Mirror Retriever is now a 3/3. Whenever you tap a permanent for colorless, add an additional colorless. Whenever you cast a colorless spell, you gain 2 life. I'm gonna go ahead and cast Lotus Petal, gaining 2 back.
You can
Oh,
sacrifice
boy.
it for any color.
Yep. I'm gonna tap Spellbook, Crawl Space again, activating Meria, and exiling the top card of my library. It's Rootbound Crag. I'm gonna play Rootbound Crag as my land for the turn. Rootbound enters the battlefield tapped unless you control a mountain or forest. It does. I do control those, so it's gonna enter untapped. I will tap Forsaken Monument, Lotus Petal.
So you're tapping into the ability, so you don't type.
Again, forest is exiled. I cannot play that, and I will pass the turn.
Untap, upkeep, draw, commander. Play a Rogue's Passage as my land.
Should blow that up, Gary.
How?
You've blown up all his other stuff.
You should blow something up.
Maybe I will. Maybe that's why I left 3 mana up this turn.
Yeah.
I will move to combattre. Lynch,
Yeah.
Excellent.
swinging with a 1/1.
+3/+3.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's okay, I don't block.
Prior to damage, I will tap 3 and can I see that green die,
Yep.
please? And he will hit for 4 total. Because there's 3 floating mana on there plus the 1.
Right. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
commander damage.
Gary, I'm trying to stop this guy. You know what I mean?
I hear you, man.
Second main, I will use the 3 green and 1, paying 4 here, tapping it, adding 6 green. For creatures only +1 reduction, I'll cast Old Gnawbone.
Oh my god.
Old Gnawbone.
Oh boy.
Old Gnawbone, it's a 5 colorless, 2 forest legendary creature dragon, flying 7/7. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, create that many treasure tokens. He's old.
Pretty good.
And you know, just chill, pass the turn.
Untap, upkeep, draw. Shock in a stomping ground. I'm gonna tap for a green and a black, and I'm gonna Assassin's Trophy your Old Gnawbone.
Get a land, destroyed?
It is destroyed.
Okay.
I want the Old Gnawbone. I'm trying to think how I can get it now.
Got my forest here.
Got a forest.
It's gotta be basic, right?
Gotta be basic. Tap for 3, and I'm gonna cast Necromancy.
Oh boy.
You may choose to play Necromancy as instant. If you do, bury it at the end of turn, which I didn't. I'm playing as an enchantment. When you play Necromancy, choose target card in the graveyard. I'm gonna target Old Gnawbone.
Old Nobby.
I wanted it for myself. That's why I wasted an instant at sorcery. So when it comes into play, put a creature in play as though it just played. Necromancy becomes a creature enchantment that targets the creature. If it leaves play, bury the creature. So I didn't play as an instant. I played it at sorcery speed, so it won't get buried. I have Old Gnawbone. I will then choose to move the Greaves over to Old Gnawbone.
Oh my word.
Do you have flyers?
No, I do not.
You do not.
Let's talk about real threat assessment here, Lynch.
You're the only one who's able to exile my graveyard, which is the whole thing this deck does.
Yeah, that's true.
I need to.
What are you gonna do about it?
I feel
I
bad
mean-
that I took his Old Gnawbone.
I mean,
You know,
not
so-
bad enough to not do it.
I'm gonna swing at you. It's a 7/7, going alone. Exalted trigger,
8.
8. So 8 in the air.
I got no blocks.
Okay, take 8.
Hold on. What if someone has a response?
Prior to
What was
damage?
You're about to get 8 treasures,
Yeah.
Well,
and
yeah,
you
like-
just drew 20 cards?
Yeah.
Well, I only have 5 cards in hand.
That's not what I'm asking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to respond. Before damage, I'm going to cast Mortify and destroy Necromancy.
Oh,
Can I be on the team now, guys?
you're back in it.
Well, are you responding to it?
I'll sack Old Gnawbone to Greater Good. Says doesn't target. It says sacrifice creature.
Then your Mortify
And
fizzles.
this goes.
Too bad.
I will draw 8 cards.
So you guys have to remember this, especially Gary. But Ken too.
Why do I have to remember it?
I saved you from getting whomped,
Oh yeah, you did.
and I saved us.
He slowed the mana train. You know, so-
All right, I will discard Anger to the graveyard. I'll discard Farseek. Put a Scalding Tarn for the discarding 3 to Greater Good. A Forest, and I'm going to cast Exploration. I'll also go ahead and move the Greaves to Chainer.
No response.
I did my 3 mana thing.
I'll tap 2, and I'm going to cast him as Miracle Orb.
Untap and mill.
So whenever a permanent becomes untapped, that permanent's controller mills a card. So yeah, so everything that's tapped, when you untap, you'll mill for each one.
It seems especially good against Gary's deck.
All my combo
Exploration.
stuff flushed down the toilet.
Everything.
Because I played an Exploration, I will go ahead and play Alana War Waste for my second land for turn.
So
Pass the turn.
My turn. I'm gonna untap and mill.
7.
4 plus 3 is 7.
Mill 7, let's see it. What you got?
Paramorphic Expanse, World Queller, Brainstorm, Legions to Ashes, Command Tower, Thine Glaciers, and Dream Cache. And then I'll draw for turn.
Bajukabog.
I wish. Oh, that'd be so good. I think I'm just gonna play New Benalia. Comes into play tapped, and I scry 1. So let's see what we got.
Oh, dude, you have a Craft Digger's Cage in there?
I do.
Yeah, that's going on the bottom. I mean, there's only one thing to do. Battle. Are we getting them, guys?
I mean, it doesn't look like it.
I guess
So I'm gonna attack Lynch with both of these guys. So I have an attack trigger for Yennett. Yeah, reveal the top card of my library.
Sphinx of the
Sphinx of Uthune. This is an odd mana cost, so I play this for free. 5/6 flying, another Sphinx. When it enters the battlefield, I reveal the top 5 cards of my library. An opponent separates those cards into 2 piles. Put one into my hand and the other into my graveyard. So I'm gonna choose Gary because he owes me one for that Old Gnawbone.
Destroy all creatures, destroy all artifacts and enchantments.
Gary is putting it into 2 piles.
Here, that's your pleasure. Slip.
Those are my piles?
Yeah.
Bro, I mean,
There's no good way to split that.
He's gonna take it. He's gonna.
I mean, I feel like I'm taking Cleansing Nova and Dimir Aqueduct, but I'm really sad to see Doom Whisperer go to the graveyard because I've never been able to cast that. That was an attack trigger. So now we're in combat.
I go to block. I don't block, so I go to 24.
Excellent. So yeah, this changes my whole turn. The only thing to do now is to cast Cleansing Nova, destroy all artifacts and enchantments.
Any responses?
No response.
Yeah, so we're gonna destroy all artifacts and enchantments.
How dare you?
How dare you?
Take that.
Oh, back to the stone
Oh
age.
man. You have responses, I'm sure. Boom.
So your artifact goes away too.
Yeah, my one artifact.
This is your card. Everything dies. That triggers in the stack.
I get a trigger off of Mirror Retriever.
What are you getting back?
When Mirror Retriever is put into a graveyard, return another target artifact card from your graveyard to your hand. Lightning Greaves. Puts it back in my hand, right? Yeah. So Mirror Retriever puts it back in my hand.
I'm done.
Untap and draw for the turn. Spend 2 green mana, cast Lightning Greaves.
Yep, cast your Lightning Greaves.
I'll move towards equipping Lightning Greaves to Meria, Scholar of Antiquity. And now she's got the boots. So I'll pass the turn.
End of turn, I'll tap this forest to float 1 green and leave it there. All right, so then go to untap, upkeep, draw.
I used to play with no sleeves and it was always in their hands, so their sweaty hands got all ruffled.
I don't even own a real one. I just own a gold-bordered fake, what is it, World
Championship?
Move to combat, swing on a new lynch.
Me again? After everything he's doing?
I'm regulating, bro.
I'll block.
All right, prior to damage, I'll float 5, so this goes to 6 total, so 7 damage. That guy dies.
Okay, chair.
Second main, use one of these guys, 5 floating remaining. Cast Arbor Elf. It's a 1-drop elf druid, 1/1. Tap it, untap target forest. Whenever your commander attacks that mill, right? Yeah. Go use 1 more, and I'll cast Sylvan Tutor. Search my library for a creature card, reveal that card, shuffle my library, then put the card on top.
Okay. So you want it in your graveyard?
I mean, if that's what you plan on doing, I mean,
Well, I have anger in here.
yeah, I might have a response. I called it that that's what you could do. Okay, I'll put Karametra's Acolyte on top. 3 colorless and a forest, creature, human druid, 1/4, power and toughness. And tap it. Add to amount of green to your mana pool equal to your devotion to green. But if you can give me a cut, please. And then I'll stick that guy on top. I'll pass the turn.
On your end step, I'll lose 1 life, and I'm going to Vampiric Tutor. Lose another 2 life. So I'll put this there. This card goes on top. I will now go to my turn, untap. I will then draw the card I tutored for.
Rise of the Dark Realms.
I will tap, so I'll tap 7. I'm going to cast Breach the Multiverse. For each player, mill 10 cards. So we'll all mill 10 cards. Then I get to choose a creature or planeswalker from each of all of our graveyards. So let's mill 10 cards. Now I was thinking about getting your old Nabo, but dude, Vorinclex? Jeez, dude. That really would help me win.
Klex just wrecks.
For Gary, I'll choose the Woodfall Primus. I'll choose the Doom Whisperer from you.
Yeah.
So I'll have Yargle and Maltani come out from me. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go with I'll go with the Crater Hoof out of your graveyard.
Yeah.
And because I have anger in the graveyard, my creatures have haste.
Yeah. Hasty.
When it enters the battlefield, destroy target non-creature permanent. I'll destroy the land that makes a creature unblockable.
Okay, I'll respond.
Okay.
I'll use 1. I will crop rotation and sacrifice this land.
Okay, so we'll resolve crop rotation. I mean, you kind of put me in a position because you keep attacking me and you haven't made any deals with me that I'm going to have to try to kill you.
Nick throws Shrine of Nyx.
I will send 11, 11, 28 coming at you, Ken. 28 coming at Ken, and a 23 and 10, so 33 coming at you, Andrew. Now we'll go to blocks.
Yeah, even if I block with both of my dudes, I'll die. So I'll go to -2. I'll block with both and go to -2.
Nah, no blocks.
Well, he wants to keep his stuff. So you take
that elf.
28. So, hold on, but when you die,
Yeah, I get
lose.
my Doom Whisperer.
Doom Whisperer.
Okay.
Yeah, pass turn.
I'll go ahead and untap, draw for the turn.
You made it very clear you were not my teammate.
Yeah, nobody. I was on nobody's side because
were
nobody was on my side.
I was trying to be partners with you.
You know? No, you weren't. You attacked me for 19 commander damage.
That was the old me.
That was the old me.
I
Why do you guys
was
talk
trying
about
to be a
old
new
shit?
me with you.
Oh,
I
well,
wanted
you
to
look
be-
the same.
Tap a red mana. I'll cast Chain Lightning. Target Lynch's face.
For 3?
You can pay 2. You can pay 2 red and recast it. If you
I don't have 2 red. I only have 1.
take 2 mana off the ancient, 2 damage off the ancient tomb to get 2 mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll tap Lightning Grease for my 6th mana. And I'll cast Walking Ballista for X equals 3. I'll pass the turn. I'll leave my blockers up.
All right, untap.
Don't attack my teammate. I mean, the Malignus was like more.
Yeah, well, I also have Lord of Extinction here too.
It's a good one. Once the graveyards are all nice and full.
Well, I could have tutored for that instead of Yargle, but I thought Yargle was a funnier play because it's just a big dumb 18.
It's got a funny name too.
You know, I could attack and like, you know,
That was a good split.
attack you because I hate your deck. You know?
Yeah, you need to leave. You need to leave at least. I mean, you might need 2 blockers though in case I swing, because none of my stuff has trample except for this.
You know, I mean, I could do that. I could just keep this like one spell that our friend plays that, you know, prevents damage and stuff. So, no, you know, might just have to test me. I might save Gary. Who knows? You know, let me pass the turn. See what you do.
All right, so I'm gonna untap with you passing. Blueberry Muffin Bluffin. Untap, draw for turn. I'm gonna be greedy. Pay 2 life for a Blood Crypt.
Yes, that's the way it's done.
I'm going to do what we came here to always do. I'm gonna cast the Undertakers. The Undertaker will come back out. That'll be my first thing. It costs 6,
Oh.
and then I have 4. You choose to cast Kagha, Shadow Archer. An Elf Druid 1/4. Whenever she attacks, it gains Death Touch until end of turn. Mill 2 cards. Once during each of your turns, you may play a land or cast a permanent spell from among cards in your graveyard that were put there this turn. I have Anger in the graveyard, so all my stuff has haste. So the biggest thing I think in the graveyard is your 9/9.
The Drastodon, yeah?
Coram will be a 9/5. I will swing my 9/5 at Gary, my 6/6 at Gary, my Multani, my Kaga at Gary. So I'm swinging all this at you, and I'm keeping the Crater Hoof, which is yours,
Yeah.
not as
The
a
highest
blocker.
power guy you have is Multani.
Yeah, 18/6.
I'll block Multani with Walking Ballista,
Okay.
and I will block.
We all mill 1 for his trigger.
Okay, before blocks.
Yeah,
blocks.
mill.
Mill.
I mean, you might mill something bigger than 9.
Scorching Dragonfire.
6. Then I also mill 2 cards to the Kaga trigger. So Titanus Rex.
There it is.
There it is.
So now he'll be an 11.
Wow.
And then Survival of the Fittest. My survival. But we'll keep Titanic Rex in the front so we get reminded that my dude's a bigger.
Okay, so I will block Walking Ballista onto 18 power guy.
Okay, Yargle to Walking Ballista.
Yeah,
Yargle.
so that's 11 and 6 is 17. I'll block Meria, Scholar of Antiquity. I'll block this thing. Take 17, I guess.
You're taking 17.
Before damage resolves, I'm going to remove all 3 of my Walking Ballista counters. I'll zap that once, and then you twice, your face.
Oh, so this will die. Okay, so you kill this.
2 damage to your
2 to my
face.
face.
Boom.
These will kill each other. They'll trade. That goes to the graveyard.
And I take 17.
Block the
Take
Yargle.
17. I didn't want to deal with the possible fog.
You never know, man. It's probably safe bet.
right.
Get rid of that ballista, you know what I mean?
So I pass.
Okay, I'll go ahead and untap, draw for the turn. I will tap a forest and play Sensei's Divining Top.
You guys have to avenge my death. We're on a team.
I'll tap the Ancient Tomb and take 2 damage. Use one of the Ancient Tomb mana to spin the top.
Come on, we're getting to play Magic.
I know.
I'll tap Sensei's Divining Top, putting this back on top.
Drawing the
And
card.
Drawing a card. I'll tap these 2 mana, and the floating gives me 3 in order to cast 3 rings for the Elven Kings. It's actually Rings of Bright Hearth with some Lord of the Rings flavor title.
Love that.
I'll pass the turn.
End of turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And tap this dude to untap this forest and make it 6 floating. So it'd be 9 total. Untap, upkeep, draw.
I do want to show you just this one card.
Oh, I get to sneaky peeky. Oh, whatever.
I knew that would be fun for you to see. So you have a 10-10. What I have, you have a replica gun. And what I have,
My gun says Desert Eagle on the
that's
side.
my gun says Desert Eagle.
And yours says replica.
Thatch was his best movie he ever made.
I'm gonna go to combat, swing the beast, and a 10-10 Omnath at you, Lynch.
I'll block your 10-10 with the critter hoof.
Prior to damage,
Yes.
I'll tap 2, 3, 4, 5 to add another 5.
14.
14, and then I'll tap this dude also. So untap this, so
15.
I'll use 1, and I will cast Seedling Charm and target creature against trample until end of turn,
Ooh. Sick.
which will be Omnath.
Okay. I will deflecting swat your charm onto my guy
Okay.
so that it targets my guy, not your guy. So
Sure.
in response to your
Yeah. That's
seedling charm, I will deflecting swat.
good. Okay, yeah.
That works.
Went for it, you know what I mean?
So I lose 3. Hoof will still die.
That still dies.
I take 3 damage from the beast. I've been holding on to that deflecting swat since I sacked this dude and drew 19 cards.
Okay, well, luckily I still have that one spell. So I'll pass the turn.
Okay. I will untap.
Try, dude.
I liked where you were going with that.
I think it's time to also cast another card that I wanted to cast for quite some time. That I've also had since I drew the 19 cards. All right, so I'm gonna tap 4. Black-green is all that matters. I'm gonna cast Culling Ritual. Destroy each non-land permanent with mana value 2 or less. Add black or green for each permanent destroyed this way.
Lightning Greaves.
These two.
3.
And then 4.
Oh, kill your own guy and get a mana.
So I'll do 2 and 2, right? Because there was 4. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so I'll tap out for 10 and I'll use this. I will first cast a Sir Conrad, the Grim. Whenever another creature dies or is put in the graveyard from anywhere in their battlefield or leaves the graveyard, my graveyard only, he'll do 1 damage. So if any creature hits any of your graveyards, that happens. Then I will also cast Doom Whisperer. So that's 10 because these are both 5. This is when he was so mad. This was one of the other cards I kept from the 19. There was a bunch of cards, so I had to keep choosing what I was going to keep and what I wasn't going to keep. So I think I'm able to hopefully kill everybody.
Swing away, right? I'm at 13 with no blocks.
You know what?
Right, so
I
I
have a
can kill you
response. Mystic Confluence, you're doomed with. Get wrecked.
From the grave.
Yeah.
So I will hit you for the 18,
Yeah.
and then I'll just swing everything else at you. Do you have the fog? If you do, you win.
Nope.
So that's it?
That's it, man.
You
I have no spawns.
Oh,
I got-
dude,
yeah, I got-
good game. I can't believe it.
Hard fought, you know.
That was a
Hey,
good game.
Good
What were
game.
you holding, bro?
Yargle.
It was a Lure of Prey, but I had no other cards.
You got the old school.
I'm telling you, it's old pet deck, you know what I mean?
Game.
This was the other card that I almost used a bunch of times. Toxic Deluge I also had in my hand. There's so many times where I almost when I was at 21 and you had everything here, but you blowing up my Mesmeric Orb allowed me to tutor for the Breach of the Multiverse to then have that killer turn. But before that, I was just planning on board wiping. I was like, oh, I just need to blow this up because he's going to kill me because I don't have any way to block flyers.
Oh.
So I was going to keep doing this. When you Cleansing Nova and got rid of my my Mesmeric Orb, then I could actually Vampiric Tutor and actually keep it on top.
Interesting. So you should, maybe Vampiric Tutor's not the tutor.
Well, but it could, because I could just go get Lord of Extinction. And then it's going to make my dude huge.
Makes the dude huge.
But I almost wondered, though, if you should have Cleansing Nova the creature.
I thought that he was going to do that.
I think in hindsight, I think
That's what I
that was
thought
the
he was gonna
play.
do, too.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know that when
No,
I
I know.
cast Cleansing Nova.
Yeah.
I had 3 relatively decent sized creatures, including my commander, which is
Yeah.
This thing is actually super duper insane, dude. This is just some quick build if you put time in it. It'd be bonkers.
Yeah.
Because I was like, maybe this is a fun commander that I can have fun, making a pet deck and keep
yeah.
tweaking. Because, a lot of decks I build, I play once or maybe twice ever. And then I have to break apart because, we're shooting again this Saturday, and I'm going to have 4 or 5 games. I have no decks. I have to build 4 or 5 decks before Saturday to play.
That dude is cool. I'd never seen him before.
No,
but
he's
I
got-
thought he was really cool.
I own the precon. So I literally opened up the precon, stole him, and then I went through my, because this guy made me alphabetize. It didn't make me, he got me excited to alphabetize. Yeah. I then actually went
influenced.
But I'll tell you, if you don't get the tutors in your hand and you don't get some sack outlet like the Greater Good, then the problem is you can be out of hand and you're doing nothing.
Yeah, but yeah, the early tutors and sack stuff, fantastic. Still think you should have Tormod's Crypt that time.
I think you're right. In hindsight,
He had too big of a stack that he could play with.
Yeah.
Well, he wanted what he wanted. You know, that's what happens with greed.
Well, nah, you can't let the greed.
What
He's
I
like,
want.
I want
What I want.
You had 2 enchantments that if they hadn't gotten removed right away, I felt like you could have done a lot with that. Because we weren't gonna be able to target your dude, and you couldn't be able to block him unless we had reach or flying. And then you had the Bear Umbra, which would have given it another buff, and then you could have kept feeding into it. I mean, I think you also had a chance though to one-shot a couple times.
There's answers to the enchants, you know what I mean? It would have had to have like gone in still with Trample or something. You know, Trample's the way to go. I feel like if you have black at anything, you can play sketchy. You know what I mean? That's the whole thing about it. Just play sketchy. You know, just push it to the limit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Corum the underrated. I mean, all things being said too, I mean, I liked watching, you know, like the odds and manipulation, like you said, on top, you know? You had the Sphinx Tribal going on.
He had his foot on the gas for a hot second.
Yeah.
That's why I had to kill you. I was trying to be nice and not kill you, but I was like, man, if I don't not kill him, I don't have these flying blockers.
He was still catching up, but he was like drafting behind you guys, you know what I mean? Because you had a lot of board presence. That is some Urza Groll stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah, my deck kind of does nothing until it does something.
Well, then when I thought about too, I was when it came to sacking him to draw all those cards, I was like, yeah, man, I definitely have to have good cards. But then most of the cards I had, I kept the Vampire Tutor, I kept the Culling Ritual, I kept the Deflecting Swap, I kept Sir Conrad, I kept a land.
It's a mini version.
But most of that stuff though, I held on to almost the whole game. Because think about it, I didn't cast any of that stuff until those last 2 turns. So a lot of it I kept looking because then I was like feeling bad putting the top in here and I put the Soul Ring in there. Remember, like you saw those like
those
bomb
are good
cards
calls,
that I was still putting in, and I even put a couple lands in, and I was just like, oh man, is this? And then when I kept holding on to them and not doing anything, I was like, fuck, did I do a bad job? And then the Deflecting Swat. And I kept the Toxic Deluge, that's 6.
Yeah.
So those are 6 cards that I didn't even get to play until the last 2 turns.
But you saw the board coming out live, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was cool to see. I like free stuff. Who doesn't like free stuff? You know what I mean? This was just value town both ways, you know what I mean? So it's cool, man.
And dude, I got really scared multiple times of what you might be dropping.
Yeah. I mean, there's.
You run Elish Norn?
Yeah.
Do you Void Winnower?
No, I don't have one.
You should put a Void Winnower.
I've been trying to get one, but they're like $30. Well, you know, like
If you would have told me, I would have fucking brought one.
If you're not comboing, you know, tutors are just good for answers. Black does it, you know. Makes me want to play black next time just because I was like, man, I need a Bajuka Bog. Man, I need, you know, I want to stop.
The desert, there's that desert that you pay 2 colorless, tap it, sack a desert. You don't even have to sack itself, and you exile a graveyard.
Yeah.
It's from the Modern Horizons 3. It's almost like an auto include in every deck now. Any deck.
Oh, no, yeah, I don't see enough people hating on graveyards.
You have to hit on graveyards.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why you got me really scared too.
That's why I asked about the Graph Digger. You know what I mean? I was like,
Yeah, it's in there.
Well, like, had he Tormod's Crypt, I probably would have ended up tutoring to put the Lord of Extinction in, and then I would have just, like, gone to, like, kill him. Been like, oh, man, he's the only one stopping me. When you got greedy and went for your Greaves, I was like,
dude,
okay, I don't need to go for him. I got to worry about
the
Steve.
anger was the defining moment for me to suggest that because it's like, dude, everything you got.
And haste.
It's,
Yeah, dude, anger hitting the graveyard
You
was
know.
good for me. Really good.
Makes the big beaters come out angrily.
How did it feel to be back on the show?
Yeah, it felt good.
Dude, thanks, Gary, for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me, Mike.
Thanks, guys. Good
Thank
game,
you.
good game.
Thanks, Lynch.
Hey guys, every other Friday, check out I Hate Your Deck, and if you can support us on Patreon, it really helps. It allows us to keep bringing you episodes every other Friday. If you join the Patreon, you can also play Magic in the Discord with me and a lot of other awesome folks, so hope to see you then. Until then, let's hate your deck. I hate your deck. I hate your deck. I hate your deck, and I hate your deck. You hate my deck?
Yeah.
I hate my deck.
If you really want to support I Hate Your Deck, there's a lot of ways to help support us. Number one way is through Patreon. Patreon is a great place where you get to join our community. We have a Discord where we play a lot of Magic with our friends, and there's such a community of people from around the world in our Discord. So if you want access to our deck list, do you want to play Magic with a lot of people from all over the world and interact or help brew your decks, the I Hate Your Deck Discord through Patreon will help you get all that done. Hey, if you've been liking I Hate Your Deck, hit the like, subscribe, and ring that bell to get notifications when we have new episodes coming out. And we also have bonus episodes. If you want to see those bonus episodes that were too hot for YouTube, Join our Patreon to check that out.
Hey, it's time for the random Patreon shoutouts. I'd like to thank Jonah08, Juggy Plays Magic, and Alex. Thanks, y'all.
If you want a shout out, you need to be a tier 4 or tier 5 patron where we give shout outs. Now, we love all of our patrons, but it's just one of the perks of being a tier 4 or tier 5 patron. Without you patrons, we wouldn't be where we are today, and we wouldn't be able to keep making content. So thank you so much for helping us make this show a reality, and we're really excited to keep bringing you great content for the years to come. I can't wait to be able to bring my son on the channel once he gets old enough, let me tell you.
I hate your deck. Wizards of the West Coast. Tapping out and slinging spells. Wizards of the West Coast. Tapping out and slinging spells. I hate your deck. Wizards of the West Coast. I hate your deck. Wizards of the West Coast. I hate your deck. Join the I Hate Your Deck Patreon exclusive Discord to get the various benefits and be able to play Commander daily with people from around the world in our global community. I hate your deck.